Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of which show is this? Jesus Christ, that's too many shows.
Bitcoin morning brief, man. What the
Thank you,
heck?
Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy.
Did your memory
Man,
go with
this
your
is what
hair or something?
I know. This is what happens when when we can't get in touch with Leah this morning. But hey, thanks for joining me, Jimmy. We got a couple of stories, and we're gonna jump right into it. I got anything new? Nothing new. We just did a show the other day, right? Anything new going on with you?
Well, I got the copy edits back from my editor for my book,
Ah,
so
beautiful.
now I have to go. Like, oh my God, did they put a lot of comments in there? I got to go through, read everything and my book. So, spend the next few days doing that. That's my life for the next few days.
All right, cool. Hold on, let me just raise the audio a little bit on you for myself. All right, cool. All right, let's do it. Let's go into screen share and yeah. So the poker tournament is sold out. That one's done. But let me do screen share. So
We
sorry
we have, we have
guys.
100 players, 10 tables. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Yep. It's sold out. I think we have like no.
Dude, your internet sucks.
Wait. I'm losing. Hold on, Jimmy.
Your internet
Man, I don't know.
sucks.
It's either. I should have started my internet is.
Where are you in the world?
Okay,
Like,
let me switch.
to LTE?
Yeah, the thing is, unfortunately, I can't switch it. Damn, I should have restarted my computer this morning. Oh yeah, wait, I can do it. I can do it. Hold on. I can, oh, that says disconnected. Damn. I'm stuck on this. I can't switch. I was gonna switch to my SIM card maybe I can go to a hotspot. And it should be better. Hold on. I'm gonna switch internets. Give me 1 second. Wait, are we not displaying anything?
You are displaying the unconfiscatable thing on your screen right now.
Yeah, but I don't see it in the video.
You don't? Oh, yeah, because that's on a delay.
Hold on, let me switch internet.
I see it in mine, and it says live on YouTube.
Oh, finally. I clicked on Carnivory Club. Hold on, I still want to switch internets.
All right, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
All right, how are we now? Jimmy? I don't even see him anymore. Okay, I think we're better now. We should be better now. Are we still there? Hold on.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tone. I just needed to go do something real quick. Yeah, where are we? Are we good again?
No, that's fine. I think we're better. I think we should be
Okay.
much better now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I switched to hotspot. I know I have a SIM card in my laptop, but yeah, it's my bad on that. Okay, so yeah, so poker is sold out. I have like 98 seats are paid for, and I'm just like making sure that I didn't miss anyone that paid. So that's why those two will be there, and there will be celebs to fill those two. So poker's done, Carnivory's done. We got a wait list. The only thing left is the conference. So that's the only thing left. I want to do some shout outs to our some of our sponsors, product sponsors. Hodl hats will be given out, open dimes, cold cards. Cryptomatic came through. If you guys saw the tweet, Jimmy, did you see it? What the winner
No, I
gets a
didn't see
watch?
it. Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Check this bad boy out. So this is great. And yeah, see what's up with the internet.
Yeah, dude, you keep coming in and out. This is man. Almost want to restart the stream with you on LTE or something. It's I don't know.
Yeah, so this is The thing is, if I reboot, we basically lose the live stream, and I have to start a whole new one. Like it doesn't, like it's gonna. If I cut this off, it'll be like, well, we're doing the show in like 40 minutes because that's the only way it's gonna happen, and I don't want to spend that kind of time. But yeah, here's the wow. It's really lagging.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
your
this
internet
sucks.
really sucks, dude. Really, really sucks.
I'm in the middle of nowhere in Phoenix at the moment, and yeah, it really. I
You're
can try
connected via
one.
Wi-Fi or LTE?
At the moment it's LTE. I can try one more thing.
Okay. I mean, it might also be Zoom or something. It's hard to diagnose right now.
Oh man, no, it's the best I can do. Sorry. Other than just straight up restarting the stream. But yeah, so this is the watch. It's a special edition. The Unconfiscatable branded on it.
I can't wait. That's going to be awesome. Maybe that's why the poker
Yeah, so the winner will get one of these. Yeah, so that's it. So the only thing left, I mean, anyone can watch the poker game. You can be in the room. It will be a big giant room, and still got tickets. Slush, shout out to Slush. They're gonna come through. They're gonna buy a couple of VIP tickets, and they're gonna. It's pretty much like a sponsorship. So awesome. Thank you, Slush. I'll contract sponsor along with Open Dime and Cold Card that are giving away product. Sweet. And yeah, you know what? We're wasting enough time. Let's just jump into the show. We'll do the best we can. Hopefully.
Yeah, you might want to turn off your
tabs
video
is not really
or something. Maybe if you turn off your video,
yeah, let me see if that
better.
All right, let's see if that helps. We got viewers. I guess they got notified, so that's good. All right, let's give this a shot. We'll see how it goes. I'll have to restart my computer immediately after. I can't close any tabs. I need those tabs. If I close the tabs, then you're not going to see any prices, right? Like that's I have a computer with like 16 gigs of memory for this reason. All right, so all right, let's talk about another ICO lawsuit. And this one is interesting to me. Man, I'm really like disappointed at the whole live stream thing with bad connection. You're with me, right, Jimmy?
I am.
Okay, cool. So another lawsuit. Now this one I find particularly funny. So apparently, like obviously, if you're crowdfunding with an ICO, you're pretty much running a scam from the beginning, right? The reason why I found this one particularly interesting is that there were people dumb enough to buy a coin that promised them an AI to trade profitably the Forex markets. like, what do you say to that? This is like one of those lawsuits. I'm like, obviously there was the comp coin guys were scamming, because if you have like 3 cents in your brain, you know that you can't build an AI to beat the Forex markets in trading. Like you can't do that. Like it doesn't, like that's not how markets work. That's not how trading works. It's impossible. So like how dumb do you have to be to invest in this coin and then complain about it? Like I have a limit, right? Like I don't know. Like what are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's indicative of how crazy that ICO bubble got, that people were willing to believe this, and there are even crazier scams than this, but this one just happens to have a lawsuit attached to it. And the big pattern that I see here is that investors are going to just sort of like claim ignorance and say, okay, well, this technology didn't exist, or they misrepresented or something like that. Ultimately, you know, you should really do your own research. If you did any research whatsoever, like Tone was saying, you know, like you would have known that Forex markets are like trillions and trillions of dollars, and there's like 50-1 leverage. It's a zero-sum game. Very few people win. A lot of people, the people that do tend to win are, are insiders and things like that. There's no way they had some AI to do this. And this is just one of many lawsuits that are going on right now. So I see this as one of the many vectors of possible ways in which ICO's centralization comes back to bite them, because you do have somebody that you can sue. You try to sue Bitcoin and say, well, I made this script that was supposed to be SegWit compatible, but I made a mistake. I want to sue somebody. You don't really have anyone to sue, right? Like it's open source software. It's decentralized. But with something like this, well, you can go sue the people that did the ICO. That's your single point of failure. And in the same way, any of these things, if they should ever be at all remotely successful, the government can shut you down. And that's the main property, or that's one of the big properties that decentralization gives you, is the inability for the government to shut you down. But with something like this, they can shut you down. So it's, we've been saying this for years. It's not interesting because it's centralized. And this is one of the ways in which you can tell, is that there are lawsuits against you.
Yeah, and we've been saying this for a long time, that all of these projects are centralized. But I want to get back to this idea of AI. Like I heard you say on a panel once, AI is just a fancy way of saying computer algorithm.
Yep. Yeah. And, there's a lot of hype around it. I mean, there are interesting things about machine learning and data science and things like that, but people think it's actually intelligent, like it thinks on its own, that we're closer to singularity or something like that. It's nothing of the kind. It's just a bunch of algorithms that are proven to work over a certain amount of time. No guarantees on it working in the future, but you can tweak algorithms as much as you'd like on that, and then you get something that works a decent percentage of the time. That's what AI is, and there's, I mean, come on, man, like if there were an algorithm that worked on FX markets, who would pay a lot more for those? It would be the hedge funds and
Right.
well,
first of all, if you had one of these algorithms, you wouldn't sell it. You would use it. This is how it works. If you have an actual automated system that can make you money, you do not sell that system. You use that system. Okay, it's different. I tell people how to read charts. I teach you how to do it. People say, well, if you can do it, why aren't you trading and making money? That's not my job. I don't want to sit in front of a computer and do it anymore. And everything I teach, you can learn on your own for free, in books, in videos, and everything else. You choose to pay to learn from me. You don't have to learn from me. You can learn from someone else. It's the material. It's publicly available.
Tone, you're going. Tone, your internet sucks, dude. So yeah, I mean, what Tone was saying, you're essentially paying Tone to learn from him in a short amount of time. And same thing with my seminar. You can learn everything I teach too in a couple of days. But really, it's all about like getting it into your head much more efficiently. And I like, this is clearly a scam because they're trying to sell you something that they say is proprietary. But if it were proprietary, why aren't they using it? Just basic questions, guys. So I mean, the fact that they're suing them in a way is good and bad. Good in the sense that these ICOs need to go away because they were clearly scamming. But bad because it's teaching people that are falling for scams that there's a way out if they can get bailed out of being scammed, which I don't necessarily like. Hey, Tone, you there? Tone, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
You're coming in and out.
Hear me.
I can hear you now. Oh man, your internet sucks.
All right. Well, I know. I'm gonna try and make sure it's all better to. I don't know what has to do after this in Russian. Uh, I'll restart my computer and like close some stuff and redo some stuff. And if that one goes well, then tomorrow.
I don't think it's your computer.
Oh,
I think it's a connection. It's the Wi-Fi versus LTE or something. So I don't know if you can disconnect and reconnect using LTE or something like that, but that might be a way to do
no,
it.
I'm on LTE now.
Mm.
I'm on LTE now, on my hotspot. No. It's I'm pretty sure it's my computer because it was lagging yesterday a little bit when I was doing my workshop and I forgot to restart it. All right.
Mm.
And back into its communist state of you know.
Well, Tone is the host and he's reconnecting now. Yeah, so I like that was complete disconnection. Sorry about that, guys. It's this we're having some technical difficulty because Tone's in a hotel room in Phoenix somewhere, and it is really kind of terrible internet. This is what happens when you travel a lot, like he does. I'm in Austin, and I'm in my home, so it's pretty easy to make sure that my internet connection is pretty good. But this is one of the
Can you
reasons
guys
why I
see
hate
me?
doing videos on the road. Well, I can hear you, but I can't see
You
you
guys see me?
because you turned your. You need to do the screen share again because you're completely.
Yeah, I don't know. I turned the camera back on for a second. Let's try this again. If not, I'll man. All right, how's the screen share now?
I think there's a delay. It hasn't come through yet. Yeah, I mean, like the upload link is just horrible. All right, you are screen sharing, so it's blank for the moment. It's all of those bits and bytes are coming through the internet, going up through the cell phone tower and back down to YouTube where it can be broadcast. But
Yeah,
there
like
isn't
the
enough to
problem
do.
is if I end this stream and redo it, we have to start a whole new stream, right? So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know what's better or worse at this point.
All right, now we can see it. It
YouTube
says
will not
China
let me
will now. Yeah, the firewall story. Yeah, great.
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so like I was saying, China is devolving itself by introducing regulation to prevent freedom of information and freedom of access to information. And
All right, hey Tone,
they
Tone,
try to
Tone.
more
I can't hear
that
anything that
very.
you're saying. Why don't you try restarting your computer right now? I think you could rejoin the Zoom.
Yeah, you know what? Hang on to the Zoom. Maybe you can do screen share on this story.
Yeah, so I'll talk about
That.
the story at least. I don't know if I can
Go
screen
for it.
share. All right, so I'll do that in the
Yeah, you
meantime, and
can.
then okay, yeah, let me try that. Let's see, China. Yeah, so let me this will stop other screen sharing. Do you want to continue? Yes. And I am going to screen share that particular one. There we go. All right, so this is the story. It says China will now officially try to extend its Great Firewall to blockchains. China's crackdown on blockchain technology has taken another step. The country's internet censorship agency has just approved new regulations aimed at blockchain companies. Hand over that data. The Cyberspace Administration of China will require any entities or nodes that provide blockchain information services to collect users' real names and national ID or telephone numbers and allow government officials to access that data. It will ban companies from using blockchain technology to produce, duplicate, publish, or disseminate any content that Chinese law prohibits. Last year, internet users evaded censors by recording the content of 2 banned articles on the Ethereum blockchain. The rules, first proposed in October, will go into effect next month. So it sounds like what happened was that a couple of people put something on the Ethereum blockchain that was banned in China. And of course, China is responding by saying, hey, you know what? we're going to ban all of these blockchain services. Of course, this is a little bit on the feudal side because you can, of course, get around the firewall with VPNs and stuff. And if you are a miner in China, well, you're probably not in China anymore. You've probably moved somewhere else, more affordable or less restrictive or whatever. But if you're still in there, you're going to connect via VPN or something like that. The thing that they seem more concerned about is actually content. This is why Google got out of China, because people were able to get into look at articles and things like that they weren't supposed to be looking at, according to the Chinese government. So this is a way to that's what this seems more aimed at. It is about producing, duplicating, publishing, or disseminating any content that the Chinese law prohibits. They are very protective over the content. So this is not necessarily about cryptocurrency or anything like that. It's really about going around the censors. Now, if you want to read, something that China bans, you can always connect through VPN or have it emailed to you or something like that. There's always been ways around it. This is more just sort of like, let's make it as difficult as possible by putting more red tape around the ability to look at things. And this is what China seems to be doing. It is kind of defeating the purpose, though, because it says here in the article, for more than a year, China has been cracking down on cryptocurrency trading and its surrounding industry while also singing the praises of blockchain. It appears its goal is to take advantage of the resiliency and tamper-proof nature of blockchains while canceling out their most radical attribute, censorship resistance. Yeah, it's kind of idiotic to try to control that. I mean, essentially what people are trying to do is control that which is uncontrollable. Hey, Tone, are you back with us yet?
Yeah, it should be. I'm assuming it's much better now.
Okay, all right. So let me stop sharing, and you can go back to your sharing, and you can talk about this story as well.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming it's much better. Yeah, my bad on that, guys. That was very, very frustrating. All right, let's go back to sharing. Well, I think I'm sharing the wrong thing.
Yeah, you're sharing my you're sharing the Zoom window.
There we go. All right. So yeah, so like I've been trying to say, like, China is going back to its communist self in trying to prevent information and technology, and it's gonna bite them. It's gonna bite them in the ass big time in the long run. And like, it's debatable if they can even pull this off. And they're not going to stop anything. I mean, you can't stop people from running a node. You can run a node over Tor. You can run a node over VPN. Anyone that's really interested in running a Bitcoin node, China isn't going to stop any of that. But what it does say is, anytime your country is in the news as being super friendly to Bitcoin and monopolizing everything in Bitcoin, the government of that country is going to go the other way on you. We heard this about China. We heard this about Bali, and then everyone got kicked out of Bali. We heard it. We're now hearing about Malta. If a few more crypto people move to Malta, Malta is going to kick all of you guys out. Okay, like this is what happens. I mean, like, all of those stupid arguments, how Bitcoin was centralized in China and China is going to control everything Bitcoin. Like, how dumb do those people look now? Especially most of them have not read any of the latest news, and they continue to argue with us that Bitcoin is centralized in China.
Yeah, it's hilarious how many people think that mining is still mostly in China. Guys, they're all over the place now. Like, if you had miners in China, you got it out like sometime last year because of the government crackdown. People want to preserve whatever assets that they have, including miners. If you had a big mining operation, you moved out a while back. And all of these arguments are really kind of like arguing something from years ago, which is not unfamiliar to us here in this space. People are still saying blockchain, not Bitcoin, which is something that we put to rest like 4 years ago. So I mean, it's par for the course. Governments move slow. China, of course, is moving especially slow. They're banning something. This does seem more like content filtering to me than actually like cryptocurrency filtering, at least from their regulation language.
Hey, Jimmy, one last thing on this article. As I was reading it, and I got to this sentence. Last
Mhm.
year, internet users evaded censors by recording the content of two banned articles on the Ethereum blockchain. I have
Mhm.
absolutely no clue what that means. It sounds ridiculous. I clicked on that article. It took me to some Coinbase article, and I started reading it. I didn't finish reading it. I, I think this is again a complete misunderstanding of what a blockchain is and what a blockchain does. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like this is Ethereum's vision, believe it or not, is to have a world computer where you can store all this data and do these computations in a decentralized manner. And they and some person put like some anti-vax article or something like that on into the Ethernet blockchain, and because of that, and it was going through how a particular Chinese company was doing something wrong, and the government of China didn't like it. So I don't know. It's
But they could have, but they could have just as easily put it on Reddit.
yeah. I think they published it on WeChat too or something. I don't know. Whatever. It's stupid to me.
Anyway, all right, let's move on to something completely crazy. Did you read this?
Just very briefly saw a couple headlines and read a couple sentences, but I'll catch up while you talk about it.
Okay, I mean, like, I don't even know where to start. Guys, why do you tag me in some of the stupidest articles possible? Like, here is another view of the Bitcoin blockchain. Guys, this really it tells me how not very bright the general space is. If I am being tagged in an article just like this dumb, to waste my time to read it. Let's go through this. So this is a professor at one of the oldest universities in the UK. Okay, it's Durham University. I think it's like the third oldest or something like that. Something very prestigious. Back in 2014, I discovered that the Bitcoin mining industry had the industrial structure of a natural monopoly. He discovered this in 2014, which wasn't even true. Okay, even back in 2014. Even in 2014, back in 2014, I think we still had like KMC miners and Bitfury and Avalon and Bitmain had just created, like ASICs were created like a year earlier, and they were just becoming popular. A natural monopoly is a market in which production is most efficient with a single producer. This is a professor of finance. Like he's yes, it's most efficient. This is usually not a bad thing. This discovery came as a shock. Again, this is insane, right? So he said, I first arrived at this conclusion when Bitcoin was under $400. It then went to 20,000 pounds. Guys, come on, CoinDesk. You gotta. This is shoddy editing. I mean, get your currency straight. Or actually, yeah. I mean, this is why I blame the editor, not the author. And has since fallen to the value of $3,600, right? So still 10 times higher than when he discovered that Bitcoin was at risk of a natural monopoly in the mining space, right? And then he goes on to talk about that nonsense, right? Oh man, okay. My reasoning is based on two simple economic arguments. You're gonna love this one. The first is that the Bitcoin mining industry is a natural monopoly, and natural monopoly undermines Bitcoin's core value proposition. The second, and this one is the best, this one is just absolute best. Just listen to this, Jimmy. The second is that the second is that in markets with zero regulatory entry barriers, an inferior product cannot survive long term. That is his reason for why Bitcoin is going to fail.
Yeah, he's I mean, I think what he doesn't realize, he's proving way too much than he set out to. If we take these his reasoning at face value, which is completely ridiculous on its face, by that reasoning, every industry is pretty much a natural monopoly. Why don't we have only one camera producer? Why don't we have only one computer producer? It's because of competition and innovation, and there's certainly a lot of innovation going on in the ASIC mining space. So, I mean, his reasoning is dubious at best. He's probably one of these Keynesian economists that, yeah, I mean, like he got through school and got his PhD and his professorship by parroting back whatever his professor told them instead of doing any critical thinking. Just go ask Safety about that. And his reasoning is, I mean, it's so embarrassing. CoinDesk should be embarrassed to be, publishing an article this shoddy.
Can we just explore this for a second? I want to read this again. Markets with zero regulatory entry barriers, an inferior product cannot survive long term. He sees that as a bad thing. So according to this finance professor, markets are more efficient when governments force shittier companies to stay alive.
Yep, that's exactly what he's saying. This is the Keynesian, like, broken window fallacy kind of economics that they subscribe to. Worse is better, or freedom is slavery, or ignorance is strength, or something crazy.
Right. So, like, first of all, he's wrong. There is no monopoly in Bitcoin. We have at least 3 different ASIC manufacturers, and the one that people accused of being a monopoly is about to naturally disappear because they've done stupid things with their money, right? So we still have Bitfury with their own ASIC chips. We have Avalon with their own ASIC chips, both of whom, by the way, invented ASIC chips, and Bitfury and Bitmain did not invent the ASIC chip. Avalon and Bitfury invented ASICs within a few weeks apart of each other, completely independently. Okay, so Bitmain just had a huge dominance in distribution, being in China, and some shady business practices, and Bitmain is about to go away. Okay, so first of all, there is no monopoly, and other companies are getting into the ASIC manufacturing business. Let's assume the worst case scenario. We have one ASIC manufacturer. So what? Bitcoin does not get hurt by this for multiple reasons. One of them is that ASIC manufacturer will make more money selling those ASIC chips, right? It's like if you're the only guy with shovels, you're still gonna make more money selling those shovels than digging for gold with those shovels, okay? If you have an advantage on making those ASIC chips, you're gonna make more money by selling them to people. So they're gonna get distributed around the world, once again creating decentralized mining. He completely doesn't understand the idea of a Bitcoin node and how Bitcoin node is actually controls the decentralization of Bitcoin, not the mining chip. Okay, and his whole I feel so bad for people studying economics from this guy, because he's telling them that government needs to keep inferior companies alive for there to be more
monopolies. Yeah, this is the brokenness of the university system and things like that. They teach nonsense to a lot of people that isn't useful for anything other than government rent-seeking jobs. I mean, I guess you can get a job at a think tank that's sponsored by the government in some way or something like that. And a lot of people do get those jobs, but you're not adding anything to civilization. You're just like stealing money from everybody. This is more or less what this guy is doing. He's getting funded out of the inflationary policies of the Central Bank of England. And that's more or less how he's making his money. He's a state-sponsored troll. And it's kind of sad that people like him have positions of influence, and that CoinDesk found it fit to publish an article this bad. But
it's really bad. Yeah. So here I got a point. So he goes to this statement right here that inferior companies cannot survive in a free market, and that's a bad thing. He completely contradicts himself in this model when he tries to explain what he means by that. And here it is. He's talking about here, the first firm to enter the market has 100% market share, as Bitcoin once did. Competitors then come along and make inroads into the market. So zero barrier to entry. He then goes on and says, at one point, Bitcoin had a 94% dominance in April of 2013. And a bunch of inferior cryptos showed up with zero barrier to entry, and Bitcoin's dominance has now fallen to 52%. So he's basically contradicting his statement that—
Well, I think he's saying that those are superior technically or something like that. He really doesn't understand Bitcoin at all, right? Like he thinks that, you know, you build a slightly better mousetrap, or you tweak one variable to be a little bit better according to some other metric, and that's what makes it better. He doesn't understand Bitcoin at all. That's very clear in this article.
And basically, and he's assuming, based on the fact that Bitcoin's dominance has fallen from 94 to 52 because a million shitcoins showed up that are inferior, he's extrapolating this forward that Bitcoin's dominance will go down to zero.
Yeah, and linear thinking is exactly what nitwits do. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, of course it's going, like, we see the trend over the last 3 years. Yeah, we can linearly extrapolate everything. Yeah. Oh God.
Ironically,
the world is non-linear, people. Oh God.
Ironically, I think he also watched our show with Jason Seibert using the Model T as an example, and he talked about this at the very end, talking about how the Model T was created in 1908 and it was outcompeted because they didn't want to do anything. Do people like not realize that the Ford company did not disappear in 1910? It is still with us today.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand. Like Ford is still making cars. They're still innovative. Now they're not innovative as well as many other cars, but it's not like Ford created the Model T in 1908. They said this will be the greatest car ever and nothing needs to happen. And then the Ford company disappeared in 1910 or 1911. Like, guys, it's over 100 years later. We still have Ford. They still own half of Detroit. Like,
well, I mean, regardless, it's a terrible analogy. And the thing about guys like this is they will never, ever, ever put their skin in the game. If you ask them for a bet, 5 years from now, let's see where Bitcoin is. If it's gone down to zero, you win the bet. I'll give you, whatever amount of money. But if it's still around above a certain price range, then I win. I would take that bet. I would also take that bet with Jason Seibert too. But I mean, he's probably too chicken to take it. The fact of the matter is, these guys don't really understand it, and they just want to be heard without actually putting any skin in the game. These are what Nassim Taleb calls intellectual yet idiots, people that don't put any skin in the game, that think that their words are worth something because they hold some high government rent-seeking position. I have very little respect for people like this that essentially are stealing money from everybody else through some form of rent seeking, and think that they're something great because they have some degree or something.
Yeah, and just one final closing thoughts on this. I mean, we can talk about this all day. We can take this back to computer operating system, where Microsoft had a natural monopoly, and they were scared that the government was going to do something to their natural monopoly, so they pretty much kept Apple alive. And for a little time being, and in order to create like competition, in order to keep the industry going and not to get accused of being a monopoly. So the free market kind of did that. And even if Apple would have died and we only had Microsoft as the only operating system, like internet didn't die, computers didn't die, it was efficiency because everyone was using the same operating system. It wasn't a great operating system, but it certainly didn't kill the whole internet boom. And so many critics are like all day today are saying that his view on Bitcoin is no different than my view on altcoins. Guys, there's a huge difference here. First of all, he is saying a single player in the market space is a bad thing and will kill it. I'm saying a single player in the market space is a good thing because it creates efficiency. So it's not the same thing, right? He's saying Bitcoin will die because it will be the only one. And then he's saying that it's going to die because everything else is taking it over. So he's got like a complete contradiction.
Yeah, I mean, he's making insane arguments and contradicting himself. He's trying to he's doing one of this is a good heuristic from Anti-Fragile, which is that if they make one argument against you, then then that's probably legit. If they're making 5 different arguments against you, it's probably just like somebody trying to, they have an agenda, right? Like this guy has an agenda. He wants to be known as like new Professor Bitcoin or something like that.
Right.
Take the mantle of Jamie Dimon or whoever had it last, and like denigrate Bitcoin, get in the news, and make a name for himself, and publish academic papers and do more rent seeking. Right. I'm upset that we've given him this much attention as it is, because
I know, but this is what people don't understand about altcoins. I'm saying that the free market will destroy Ethereum because it's useless in the space. It's a leech. Yep. I'm saying that the free market will destroy it. You don't believe me because you're holding Ethereum, but the free market will destroy it, and it's obvious that the free market will destroy Ethereum and a lot of these shit coins. Okay. And I'm saying that's a good thing, and he's saying that's a bad thing, while at the same time, he's saying that inferior competition is going to destroy the superior single company. Anyway,
he doesn't understand Bitcoin. I don't want to argue with idiots. So.
No. But Jimmy, I'm not even making the argument that he doesn't understand Bitcoin. I'm making the argument that he doesn't understand economics and finance.
Yeah, I mean that's abundantly clear. I don't really want to argue with people like that.
He's a professor.
It's not worth my time.
Like
and what is that worth? What is an economics degree really worth these days? I mean, like, fact that people like him make those arguments tells me everything I need to know, which is that he has zero real world experience. He refuses to put any skin in the game. He's an intellectual yet idiot. So to me, I don't want to spend my time listening or reading or arguing with people like that. It's a waste of time. I'd rather be building.
Guys, if you know the article is dumb, don't link me, because if you link me to a dumb article, it tells me something about you, the person that tagged me in the tweet. All right. And don't tell me if you know the article is dumb, don't tag me in it. I don't need to read it. You already know that. All right. Price of Bitcoin. Guys, I'm not going to debate Andreas. No, nobody will. It's not it's somebody. Someone just paid 20 pounds to ask me, when am I going to debate Andreas on Ethereum? Andreas is not going to defend Ethereum. He's smarter than that. Andreas is going to defend the concept of smart contracts and the intellectual conversations that the concept of Ethereum has spurred onto the society. Anyone debating Ethereum that it's efficient or useful is insane. Now the concept of smart contracts is debatable, not Ethereum itself.
All right, Tone, I'm gonna have to get going, so I'll watch the price analysis later. But this song is done.
Cool. All right. Thanks for joining me, Jimmy. I know it was a frustrating one.
No problem, man. Not as frustrating as that guy.
Later, man. See ya. We'll see Jimmy at Unconfiscatable. Guys, I don't want to debate Andreas on Ethereum either. I like Andreas. I like my friendly relationship with Andreas. I don't need to mess that up, but thank you for suggesting. Okay. The monthly chart of Bitcoin looks very, very unhealthy. That is absolutely a terrible candle. I know we jumped up a little bit this morning, but the monthly chart updates once a day, and we don't have that update yet. We did not touch the 50-month moving average. I believe we are going to touch it, and I also believe we are going to break it. When we break the 50-month moving average, we enter uncharted territory. We have never closed below the 50-month moving average in the history of Bitcoin. And I believe we will for the first time. That will break, closing below the 50-month moving average on Bitcoin will break the fractal of comparing Bitcoin to its last bear market of 2014. And we will have to come up with other metrics. So right now, ideally we pierce the 50-month moving average, we fall down to the low $2,000 area that month, and then we pull back and close above the 50-month moving average by end of the month. So you really want this to happen a couple of months from now, when you kick off the month very close to that moving average, you pierce it pretty heavily, you come within decent distance of 1300, and then you rally all the way back up, and then you can still keep the fractal nature of breaking the 50-period moving average, but never closing below it. If we close below the 50-period moving average, and then we open a candle below the 50-period moving average, and then close that candle below the 50-period moving average, Bitcoin gets into serious, serious trouble. You guys have to understand the concept of momentum. If things look bad, they're going to continue to look bad. When things look good, they're going to continue to look good. That's why you sell the breakdowns and buy the breakouts, okay? The weekly chart, we rallied a little bit this morning. I had to restart my computer, so everything kind of reset. We started a new week and today, and looks like a positive week. But last week, the damage has been made. I think that the prospect of going up to 5,000 before going down to sub 3,000 is very, very small at this point. I now believe there is a less than 50% chance that we're going to rally up to 5K and hit the combination of this 5K and the declining 30-week moving average. Though this would have been the perfect resistance point before lower prices, I think that is very, very unlikely. We now have to wait to break these green lines again in order to have any hope of that. And as of right now, I am looking for sub $3,000 prices in the near future, a lot nearer than I thought even a few days ago. Here's the daily chart. The daily chart broke that blue line that I had on there. The CMF looks very, very unhealthy. It looks very bad. The MACD has gone into positive territory, but it had now crossed over and is now trending down. The RSI is still stuck in between, so that's not helpful at all. We had a nice rally this morning, but it's, 4 days late and a few $100s short, right? So at this point, I see nothing more than a pullback to the breakdown areas, this moving average, while we were all hoping that this moving average is going to hold up the price of Bitcoin as it turns to the upside, the short-term moving average, the 50-day, but that did not happen, and we're now back below the 50-day. All the moving averages are trending down. The price is below all the moving averages. Bitcoin looks 100% bearish. The short trade off of a red 3 going below a red 2 is now currently in the red. I don't see any significance to the pop this morning, other than, man, I'm now tempted to sell more Bitcoin to fund Unconfiscatable next week, because I don't see too many prospects of getting us back to 4,000. Again, here's the 12-hour chart. The blue line, once you broke and closed below that blue line, this pop is a few days late and a few $100s short. The best thing I can hope for is a pop into this moving average and then a reversal back to the downside. I don't see anything positive in this chart. I know the TD indicator is not up. Let me see if it goes up. There it is. Oh, well, the 12-hour has been so much better with TD. You can see the 9 reversal right there. And you can see the 9 buy right there. Like, I didn't see it. I was busy teaching my workshop all day yesterday. That went well here in Phoenix. And I didn't even see this till just now. I haven't looked at a price, I haven't looked at this chart in 2 days. And yeah, that would have been a nice buying opportunity on a 12-hour chart. Let's see if we can narrow that down. That took place on January 13th, the 12-hour candle, the midday candle on January 13th, yesterday's midday candle. So the same candle, so exactly 24 hours ago when I was in the middle of teaching my workshop. That's why we didn't see it. And yeah, so that would have been a nice buying opportunity for a pop. So the TD sequential worked beautifully on a 12-hour chart once again, where I found it to be fairly useful. Let's see what happened on a 4-hour chart during that time period. That would have been yesterday. Yeah, so the 4-hour chart didn't really do much help. I was hoping that the 4-hour chart was in line with the 12-hour chart and we could have pulled off a 9 right there. Oh man, see, this is that unfortunate situation. And this is what I mean. You have to, sometimes in a 24-hour market like Bitcoin, you have to use TD with a little bit of a grain of salt, right? So look at this count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have a single break, right? So what if this was a 6 candle? 6, 7, 8, 9, and then that would have been head candle after, so that still wouldn't have worked. Okay. So either way, so even if I would have fudged it a little bit and said, hey, the difference between this being a red 1 and this being a green 1 and this being a red 6 is probably like $3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the close on this candle was 36.1721, and this was 36.2247. So this was a $5 difference. So in a 4-hour span, in a 12-hour span, a $5 difference caused this to be a green 1. But even if it was a red 6, it still wouldn't have perfectly timed you. So let's be fair about this. It wasn't going to help you all that much. And that would have been a 9 candle. And then the following candle was the final drop because it was still part of the 12-hour candle. Again, I'm not taking this bounce to the upside seriously, but I am taking the drop from 4,000 to current levels very seriously. I am now pretty much bearish across the board, looking for sub $3,000 prices. This is the 1-hour chart. Nothing really too interesting on the 1-hour chart. You had a 9 down here, you had a 9 up there, and now you're in a bit of a bullish spurt. But like I said, I'm not taking this bounce very seriously. I'll probably try to sell some Bitcoin because I don't think it's going to go up very high in the near future. I do want to take a look at the stock market. That's interesting to me. Ethereum is not interesting to me at all. GBTC popped up a little bit, back to 4.5. The premium is looking great. The premium is at 21%. I'd love to see that premium go up to like 35 because like I still have my bullish position in GBTC. I don't mind. The premium is starting to creep up. You can see the trend in the premium. And I think as Bitcoin goes down, more people are going to be interested in buying that Bitcoin. And because I know how GBTC works, I think the premium on GBTC will rise. And that will allow me to exit my position profitably, even though it's at a significantly lower price of Bitcoin. This is why I entered my GBTC position back here at very low GBTC premium. Should have entered more, probably. Again, like I said, I don't care about Ethereum. That's the Dow Jones. I'd rather look at the S&P 500. Here's the futures, even though the markets are currently open. The futures have bounced back a little bit. That's good. We are on a 7 of 9, so maybe 2 more days. I would love to see a 9 at the high. So I would love to see a pop midweek, and then you got to take your profit because I think the stock market is about to run into a serious resistance point. It's got to be over here somewhere. I think the stock market is going to run into a serious resistance point, being this blue line at just above 2,600 or 2,600 if you want to round it off. And I think that's going to be pretty critical. All right, that's it, guys. I can glance at gold. I think I have gold open somewhere. That's oil. Oil's pulling back. I was surprised oil was able to break 50 because oil broke 50. I do now think that we can pull back to this moving average, then go up to the high 50s, into low 60s, and then from there, we should take another big leg down. Is this gold? No, it's Dow Jones. Do I have gold? That's oil. That's S&P. Is this gold? That should be gold. Yeah, it's the zoomed out version of gold. Let's zoom in. I think this is a monthly chart. Yeah, this is a monthly chart of gold, and I think we're stuck at a very critical point. Let me go to the weekly chart. We're starting to break that weekly trend line. Let's see where it goes. We're also close to a 9. We can always adjust this trend line slightly, you know, after the candle closes, and the trend line will still be legit. So I still think gold reversal to the downside is imminent, but we'll see what happens. All right, that's it, guys. I think this video has gone on long enough. We are closing out with 780 viewers, which is pretty good considering I've gotten down to like 150 with no notifications. Okay, so this is a good question. I'll answer the question and then we'll leave it there. Tone, on another video, you said that if Bitcoin falls below 1,000, you're done with it and will sell it off. Months ago, Tyler said something the opposite. If Bitcoin sits at below 1,000, why not buy in heavily? Any thoughts? Because I will buy in Bitcoin heavily above 1,000. I'll be buying heavily into Bitcoin from about $1,300 to $2,000. And if that position loses me a bunch of money, I would rather sell all the Bitcoin I have and go for a new career path. Not all the Bitcoin. I'll hold on to some Bitcoin just in case I'm wrong. But I'll probably change careers because I don't think Bitcoin is sustainable at like $700 value because I think the mining structure is in serious jeopardy then. A lot of people were stupidly saying how Bitcoin can't fall below $8,000 because of mining. That's ridiculous. But at $700, their fears are probably accurate. I just like at this point in time, Bitcoin is 10 years old. It does need, it should be able to sustain a value above its prior high. And I think a lot of things go into jeopardy. I don't believe Bitcoin will go that low. And if it does, it won't stay there for too long. But yeah, I'd rather go into a new career path and that's fine. I'll still accept Bitcoin or any currency for that matter for my services. And I don't think that's going to happen, right? Just I think the Bitcoin structure is in serious jeopardy if it falls that low. I just don't. I don't see it, right? Like, how long are you going to hold on to your gold, right? Like, it's silly, right? I mean, gold hit $1,900 high 8 years ago now, and I think it's going sub 1,000. And I think it would be silly to hold it. And I'll wait for a rebound, and I'll buy more Bitcoin then. But we'll see. You know, we'll talk about it when we get there, or if we get there. Hopefully, we won't get there. How many years could it sit below 1,000? Well, that's the problem, right? I think if Bitcoin sits even for a month below 1,000, it may sit there forever below 1,000, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and see you all. Oh, sorry. Someone says, why is GBTC good? No, GBTC is terrible. That's why I like it, because it's so terrible and so inefficient. It allows me to profit from the inefficiency of the stupid asset. So it's not good at all. But a lot of money is made on the inefficiency of bad assets, and that's what GBTC is. Oh yeah, no, we're not gonna. I wanna promote my conference. Where are we here? Hey guys, please come out to Unconfiscatable. Whoa. Oh yeah, the carnivory dinner is sold out. The conference is not sold out. So the poker game is also sold out. Slush is joining us, and not literally the person Slush, but the CEO of Slush, Jan, is going to be there. He's going to play in a poker game. We're also going to have one of the Slush people as a speaker. Another card's coming. Probably the CTO, because it's a dev panel. It makes more sense for the CTO to join that panel to talk with Jimmy Song and Peter Todd and Johnny Dilly on some of the tech stuff. The conference still has tickets. We got 9 tickets left at this price. We may keep the price. We may raise the price. It will be our decision once we sell the other 9 tickets. VIP tickets won't change. We're not going to charge more than that. That's for sure. And yeah, thank you again for some of our product sponsors like OpenDime, Hodl Hats, Cold Cards. Cryptomatic is going to give away a beautiful watch branded specifically for the tournament, and Slush Pool. Thank you, guys. All right, come out. And my workshops. Oh yeah, I haven't even mentioned the affiliate codes like in forever. We did a BlockForge. Hey guys, thank you for hosting. Thank you for hosting the meetup at BlockForge. There's your affiliate code right there. And of course, Cold Cards, TorGuard, TradingView. And if you guys really want to support my work, just, hey, do your Amazon shopping through my Amazon links on the affiliate page. You don't have to buy these products. These are the products that I currently use to bring you these podcasts, but you don't have to buy them. Actually, this camera broke on me. I bought the older camera, C920. I like it so much better. Should probably change this. And yeah, but if you click on any one of these and do your Amazon shopping of anything, then I get a little kickback from Amazon, and that helps. All right, and my workshops, we're gonna add more workshops. They're gonna be a little more advanced. Right now we have Vegas, a couple of seats left, plenty of seats in Paris, and a few seats left in London. So go ahead and check those out. All right, guys, I will talk to you all on the next one. And sorry about the issues earlier with the internet.